How are you?
Fine.
Good. How are you?
Tired. We are super excited to hear you.
How are you? How many times have you asked this question in your life? 10 times? 100? 1,000? A million? A billion? How many times? It's a question we take for granted. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. How are you? Okay. But it's a question that makes the world a little bit better every day. It's a simple question. Hey, Mike. Hey, John. Hey, Yusuf. How are you? I'm okay. I'm doing fine. I could be better. We don't always answer it honestly, but it creates an impact. It plants a seed. And if you nurture it, the seed grows. I'm going to tell you a story about a question that changed my life. The Lebanese revolution happened in 2019. And back then, I was working as a consultant and in the tech field. I was working as a consultant in the tech field. I was on my way from my hometown to Beirut. I would go every day from my hometown to Beirut in a taxi. I had a driver who would take me every day at 8 a.m. I would wake up at 7 a.m., go in the cab, go to my work, come back at 6 p.m. Okay? A very simple life, working in the office. And suddenly, the Lebanese revolution happened. Tires getting burned on the highway. My problem was a bit complicated. I would get stuck in the cab for 3 hours every day in traffic because we had tires getting fired up on the road. There was no way for us to pass. There was a revolution going on. This kept going on for a month, 2 months, 3 months, every day, 5 days a week. I would go back home and I would get stuck in traffic for 3 hours. I had a problem in my life that I wanted to solve, and I didn't know how. I needed to go back home. There was no other way for me to go back home except by going through this highway. I wasted 3 hours of my life every day, precious time. And I brainstormed. What can I do to solve this problem? And as I was stuck in my cab every day for 3 hours going back home, I noticed that there were motorcycles passing by. And the motorcycles had a very simple solution. They could pass through the tires. So I thought to myself, how could I take advantage of this opportunity? How could I come up with a solution? Should I buy a motorcycle? I don't have a motorcycle driving license. What can I do? And then I remembered how powerful a question can be. So I came up with a question that I wanted to test. I wanted to test it out, to give it a try. And the question was, can you help me pass? Can you help me pass? Can you help me pass? That was the question. I told my driver, sir, I'm gonna go alone to my home tonight. I'm gonna try to find a way. He asked me how. I told him I'll test it out, I'll see. I went down, paid him the money, and I went down. and I waited on the side of the road. So here was the highway, and I waited. Then the first motorcycle passed by. I asked the sir, he was on his way, but he was moving slowly because there was traffic. I asked him, could you help me pass? He said, of course. And I saved 3 hours of my life. Brilliant. Brilliant. 3 hours of precious time. I went back home, saw my family, had dinner with them, told them about the story. We had a huge laugh. I loved every part of it. The next day, I thought to myself, might this person not help me? Let me try. I paid the driver, went out, and asked him a question. Could you help me pass? I made the question very simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Could you help me pass? Of course. 6 hours saved. Could you help me pass? 9 hours saved. Could you help me pass? 12 hours saved. I work 5 days a week, and every day I wasted 3 hours of my life because of these burning tires. Let's make the calculation. So let's say we have 20 working days in a month, right? Because there's some weekends. 20 working days multiplied by 3 hours is 60 hours. So using this question, I saved 60 hours of my life. This went on for 3 months. 60 hours multiplied by 3, 180 hours. Khalid, what can you do in 180 hours?
A lot of things.
A lot of things. Thank you. George, what can you do in 180 hours?
Tremendous things. Some odd things.
Nadir,
I don't have I learn a new language.
plain and simple. You can do a lot of things in 180 hours. A question. 180 hours. This is the power of a question. But Mike, how do I come up with a powerful question? Well, first, are you asking? Because a lot of people don't even ask. I see the motorcycles passing by. But are you asking? If you don't ask, you will not receive. Ask, and you shall receive. By asking, you can plant the seed. But if you don't ask, you won't plant the seed. Here's a basketball, and here's a basketball. You can either take the shot, or you can put the ball on the ground. If you take the shot, you either miss or you hit. What about if you put the ball on the ground? What happens then? Can you make it?
Yep.
So, take the shot. Ask the question. Are you asking? Now you tell me, what question can you ask in your life that can completely change your life? Thank you.